What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, and welcome to the Day Sports Show, the place where we discuss sports, share bold opinions, and untold stories that make a difference. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to hit the like, subscribe button, share anybody you know who loves sports. And if you're listening on any audio platform, leave a 5-star rating, share anybody you know. Hope everybody's having a great Easter Sunday as we've recorded this episode on Easter Sunday afternoon. Quick, short episode, kind of a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but hope you guys enjoyed the episode. On this episode, we discussed Final Four with my guy Phil Wilson and our reactions to some of the games from yesterday. Some Lakers talk and the recent injury bug with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, and a little bit Wemby Jokic and our thoughts on that marquee matchup we saw yesterday. There's some choppy segments if you're watching on the visual version of the episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a great conversation. And without further ado, let's get into the show.
What's up, everyone? I'm DJ Hamilton, and you're tuned into the DJ Sports Show, where we give you the latest, greatest, and most exciting sports stories in the world of sports. From interviews to having people's stories heard and told. This is the DJ Sports Show. Let's get it!
All right, happy Easter, my brother.
Yeah, it's a calm day. You know, we got some basketball to talk about.
Yes, sir.
That UConn Illinois game, man, that was close one, man. So I was watching a little bit of Wemby Jokic when it was going on. So I got to catch the second half because Wemby Jokic, we'll get into some of that later. That was it's a spectacle to watch. But one thing I was watching with UConn is I loved how Braylon Mullins was aggressive out the gate. You know how he struggled in the previous game against Duke with a shot until that, one of the greatest shots of all time to beat Duke in the Elite Eight, that game winner from 35 feet out. He was aggressive early on. Him and Terrace Reed, they scored their first 8 points for UConn. They kind of established that inside-outside game, and I loved how aggressive he was. Like, they had this double stagger screen. He was coming off the pin down the double stagger screen on the left side, and the fact that he just shot the ball with such confidence for a freshman, it's just you can't measure it, man. When you have a guy that young who's that confident and who can shoot the ball that well, he wants to put on a show for his hometown, Indiana, and that's what he did. And when they established that inside-out bounce against Illinois, that kind of opened up their game for them because Illinois had trouble stopping them against UConn. UConn was efficient in this game, man. And then defensively, they were physical with Illinois. They held Illinois, who was on the top offense, the most efficient offense in college basketball this season, 34% from the field. This is a team that has a dynamic offense, dynamic guards. They know how to run sets, get into their plays. 34% from the field and 23% from three. I was like, man, I've never seen Illinois struggle so much. But UConn found a way to be able to get it done. And then in the second half, Illinois, they're making a push. Look like they're about to regain the lead. They start making, momentum towards regaining the lead against UConn. They had an 8-0 run around that 9-minute mark and 6:45 mark of the second half. They're able to cut the deficit to 6. And, the momentum's starting to build. And I felt at that time, okay, the game's starting to tighten up on the UConn Huskies. How are they going to respond? And man, did they respond. The solo ball had a big momentum slam. They were able to force some turnovers on Illinois. And that got their lead back up to 8. And then there was a huge offensive rebound down the stretch. Silas Demery Jr. This is why they always teach you young kids out there who watch that game, boxing out. You got to know how to box out. To me, that was the thing that switched the game. Because Illinois had a chance to take this game, in my opinion, if they didn't allow that offensive rebound. Because Silas Demery, he gets that rebound. That leads to extra possession for them. Mullen hits that dagger 3, and that gives them a 7-point lead with 52 seconds remaining. Because then on the next possession, Keaton Wagler, another incredible freshman, he responds with a 3 of his own. And that cuts the deficit to 4. If Demery Jr. doesn't get that rebound, and Wagler comes another and hits that 3, it's a 1-point game. And I think all the pressure goes on UConn if that would hypothetically happen. Because then UConn be like, man, we don't want another situation right now, but we give them a chance to beat us on a game winner or something like that. Because all they would need is a 2-pointer at that point in the game. So, yeah, that offensive rebound, to me, I know Mullins hit that dagger 3 that put them up 7, but that offensive rebound was a play of the game because if he doesn't get the offensive rebound, Mullins doesn't even get a chance to get that dagger 3 to put them up 7 with 52 seconds remaining. So I just want to give him his props right there. Shout out to Terrace Reid again, another big game, another double-double, 19-point double-double. This dude is a monster. He's going to be key to their national championship hopes against the big outsized lineup of Michigan, because he was instrumental in their win today again. And this is another historical note. When I was listening to the broadcast, they said Mullins and Wagler became the first freshman duo to score 15 or more points in a Final Four since Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing in 1982.
Really?
Yeah, first pair of
Oh,
freshmen to score 15 plus or more points in a game in a Final Four since 1982 when Jordan and Ewing did it. So there's some history for you guys right there. I was like, man, interesting. Let me write that down.
absolutely.
And we've seen some great freshmen over the years, man. But the fact that these two young puppies and they're putting on the big stage shows
Masterclass.
what they're made of. You know what I'm saying? Their composure, their poise. They didn't seem rattled or surprised by the moment. They were ready for it. They were like, okay, our team needs us. They were cognizant of that, and they showed up. Both of them had great games, man. So I'm going to give my props to them. And then UConn, we're going to get into the next game because I think this is going to be key for them going to the next game. They were 12 of 33 from three-point range. They shot 36% from three. They're going to need that against Michigan because Arizona struggled against their shooting from deep against Michigan in that game last night. So I'm just like, that's going to be one of the key factors for them. But also, we got some history. Dan Hurley has a chance. He's one win away from joining John Wooden as the only coaches to win 3 national championships in a 4-year span. This is a chance to make his mark in college basketball history. I mean, he already has already, but to separate and distinct himself among the greats. Like, if he wins this 3 and 4 years, to me, he's in that conversation for greatest college coach of all time. He's up there with the John Woodens, the Mike Krzyzewskis, because this guy, all he does is win. I know you might not like him. Some people might not like the way he does things or his personality and stuff like that. But, man, you got to respect results. You can't lie about results because he wins, man. And I also wanted to mention this, too. You could also factor in that he probably has had it harder than any other previous coaches. He's had to deal with the NIL. Kids transferring all the time. You're dealing with playing against 25, 26-year-olds. Your roster is always constantly fluctuating. That's something we got to consider as well. So Mike Krzyzewski didn't really have to deal with that. He kind of retired right when NIL was starting to come in. John Wooden didn't have to deal with that. They had 4-year players who were staying longer. You were able to build that chemistry, that camaraderie with your teammates, and really build a system and an identity. Nowadays, you got to continue to change and adapt your identity every single year, and it makes it harder for college coaches. So I just want to really commend and give my props to Dan Hurley. He's a legendary coach, iconic, and I love his post-game answers. The stuff he be saying and how he reacts. Yeah, he be killing me. He might be a little bit of an oddball, but yeah.
He gets it done.
Yeah.
Nah. So, man, honestly, I had to say, for me, what's the old Houston coach said? Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Because tonight, last night, I did. Because I had them winning, to be honest. I thought with their experience, I love the way Wagner was playing. They got those international players that came in for the team as well, who were very impactful. And I just thought they were just a team that looked like they're going to go on a run, and then just also with UConn, had that incredible win last week against Duke. I thought, man, like that just takes so much out of you. And like historically, when the teams that have beaten Duke, recently at those big time games that they have to win, sometimes in surprising fashion, they lose that next game. But then those other teams aren't coached by Dan Hurley, so you got to give so much credit to obviously Hurley and all the players. Obviously Reed stepped up. You mentioned that already, but just the way they were able to perform, and a game after that. Because the fact that like they said, like I mentioned, they went through so much in that Duke game to even be able to survive and move on, survive in advance, right? So I was just so impressed. Again, like I said, Illinois winning, and just I like you mentioned before, also their physicality was very impressive. I did not expect them to beat them, push them around like that. And the biggest point I did have if UConn was going to win, though, even I wasn't sure how it would go, was I did know this. They shot horribly against Duke, so like. You just figured there's no way you could shoot worse. You're way too talented. You're way too good. Darren Hurley's not having that. Shooting anything better than what you shot last game is going to at least give you a chance, right? Because that's what they were down in the first place. And with all the talent they got on that team, they're going to come out. Shout out Mullins again, hitting big shots. It's all timing when it matters most. Can you hit a big shot when it matters most? We see him do it last week, saw him do it yesterday. So he's just been that dude when it matters most, and I would not be shocked. Again, I got to apologize to Matt because, like I said, with Matt, I know as that's the UConn squad, so I was like, to tell him my bro, I got to tell him like, yo, I did not expect him to win this game. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm at the point now where I can no longer kind of against him at all. Michigan probably is the higher pick team. I would say that definitely if you're gonna do a spread, but man, with the way they played, they fought hard, they earned this victory, and then Terrace Reed, Mullins, all the guys. I'm not counting them out in this next game. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm still I'm still not sure who I want to pick to win the championship. I really just want to enjoy it. Obviously, it's going to be tomorrow, but man, I'm not sure, bro.
Nah, I know
who you got.
I mean, we'll make a prediction after we talk Arizona, Michigan, then we'll make my pick. But
I forgot about that. Not honestly right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but every team in the Final Four yesterday for the men's side shot, except for Michigan, shot sub 40% from the field and from three. Illinois, UConn, and Arizona shot terribly yesterday. Only Michigan shot over 40% from the field and from three. And there's a reason why they're going to the national championship game.
Absolutely.
You're UConn, you cannot shoot 35% from the field and expect to beat Michigan. How well-rounded they are, how efficient they are offensively. And we're going to get into, it's going to segue into our next thing, but when I'm looking at this UConn-Illinois game, I'm like, there's no disparity that really shows, like, oh, how did Illinois lose this game? Well, they just shot the ball terribly because even points off turnovers, it's only 8-4 UConn. There wasn't like a big discrepancy there. Same with points in the paint. Illinois led them 22 points in the paint to 20 for UConn. There was no big discrepancy there. And only 4 turnovers for UConn, 8 for Illinois. Like, there really wasn't much big of a difference. The only thing is, UConn was able to make a little bit more shots down and had a little bit more luck down the stretch, connecting on those shots in Illinois. It was like a lid on the basket for both teams, honestly. And also, this was only the second time this season that Illinois was held under 65 points all year. And this is one of the most efficient offense in the country. UConn did it on both occasions. UConn was the team that held them under 65 points on both occasions. So I was like, ooh, no wonder they lost to them. The offense has been clicking on all cylinders, and now you're going against Husky teams. They're physical on the perimeter, too. Like Solo Ball, Demery Jr., they got some physical guards on that perimeter who can guard guys. So I think that's going to become a big factor at the chances of winning against Michigan, who we're going to get into right now. So Arizona, Michigan yesterday. Man, what a beatdown.
You did not miss much if you didn't watch it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Like, I thought this was going to be the game of the year. I really, last week when we were talking about it and discussing it, we really thought this was going to be the game of the year.
They said there were 2 Titans matching up with this matchup.
Bro, 2 number 1 seeds. These teams have been dominant all season. 2 dominant offensive teams, efficient. They have great front court size, both of them skilled bigs, and some good backcourt play. I'm like, okay, this is going to be one of the great classic matches we're ever going to see. And it just didn't fold that way. Man, when I was watching this game, this is an Arizona team that had 2 losses all season. They had the 4th best offense, 2nd-ranked defense, according to Ken Pom. Michigan had the largest scoring margin in the country, a plus 18.1, which is ironic because they won by 18. They won by 18, 91-73, and 2nd in blocks per game, this Michigan team. And this is coming in. Michigan, this is their first Final Four appearance since 2018 and since 2001 for Arizona. So one thing I was watching, like, okay, Arizona was kind of aggressive early on. They were attacking the basket, and then there was a quick 2 fouls on Yaxel Lendeborg. He got 2 fouls that kind of hindered his impact in that first half, especially in that first 2 minutes of the game. I was like, damn, 2 fouls already? I was like, how are they going to play without him? And man, did they demonstrate their composure, their ability to play, and it shows how deep this team is. Wolverines, after Lendeborg went out with those 2 fouls, they went on a little run, scoring like 8 consecutive points. They sprouted out to a 10-1 lead. Wildcats, Jaden Bradley was the first one to score their field goal, and they didn't score a field goal until they're 4 minutes into the game. They couldn't get anything to go. This team was struggling. And one thing also I want to mention is Ade Mara, the 7'4" guy, had the best game of his career, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Career high 26 points, by the way. And he imposed his will against his team. 7'4". I remember saying last week when we mentioned Arizona, Michigan, It's going to be the battle of the bigs, the interior, the front court. I know I said the guards for Arizona, they really struggle against them soon, but Mara really imposed his will in this game. He was a force on the defensive end. They couldn't score. They were 7 of 15 in the paint against him. They couldn't really convert easy baskets at the rim against him because he was altering shots, blocking shots, doing all that. And he had some tough finishes. They were pushing him, being physical him. He had some and ones. I'm like, this is what I want to see from a 7'3", 7'4" guy. I know he be looking at Wembanyama because I be seeing him on his what he likes on Instagram. I'm like, I be seeing this guy liking a Wembanyama post. I'm like, he's definitely has to be studying him. Yeah, because I'm just like, this
That's the
guy,
mode.
like
That's
the way
the
he plays,
way.
he has some little tenacity to him. I don't know how when he was at UCLA, Cronin, that guy, man, he's a terrible coach. He didn't know how to use him properly, and he was out of shape then. He was ruining the kid's confidence. This is why he transferred to Michigan to have a chance to improve his conditioning,
I love
get
that.
on the court, and it elevated his confidence. And you've seen it this year. He won Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. It's why you got to give guys opportunity to build on their confidence in their game, because you take that away from them and take away their confidence, it's not going to perform to their best ability. You know what I'm saying? You're not optimizing your weapon. He scored 6 of the first 19 points in the paint. They were really attacking the basket early. The Wildcats had trouble keeping Wolverines out of the paint. And I loved how aggressive they were. And they're going to have to do that against the Huskies. Huskies have a big fella down there who's a force on the interior as well, and Reed. So I want to see how that matchup goes with him, Mara, and Reed, because Reed has more girth to him. So that's going to be something to look out for. When Lindeborg had that injury, man, I was kind of worried with that CL and ankle. I was like, oh, man. It was 8:41 to go in the first half. I'm like, how's this going to look? Because, the Wolverines kind of jumped up to that big lead early on. Arizona started going on a short little run. I'm like, oh, no. I've seen the story before. I've seen it many times throughout basketball history, college or pro. They were rallying back. But then Michigan, they responded. They went on a little 7-0 run of its own. They took a 40-32 lead. The turnovers, though, hurt the Wildcats. 9 turnovers. That was the difference maker in this game. 9 in the first half. Michigan scored 12 points off those 9 turnovers. And in the game in total, when I'm looking at my notes right now, Michigan scored 26 points off Arizona's 14 turnovers in total, compared to only 12 points for Arizona off Michigan's 13 turnovers. To me, that was the difference in the game. The turnovers. And we were converted off those turnovers. If the Wildcats were able to convert more off the turnovers than Michigan, or be able to cut down the turnovers, they probably could have won this game. And we could be talking about the Wildcats and Huskies in the national championship. And also, I want to give kudos to the Wolverines defense. They shut down the backcourt of the Wildcats. Man, Braden Burries and Jaden Bradley, they couldn't buy anything. 8 of 22 combined for the both of them from the field. 2 of 10 from deep. All of them were from Burries. They couldn't connect on any shots. Bradley was the Big 12 Player of the Year, and they made him go cold. He was silent. He was invisible. Burries back to the top 10 pick in the NBA draft. He shot poorly from the field. They couldn't make any impact on this game offensively. And we got to give a shout out to Trey McKinney. He did a great job. Morez Johnson Jr., if I'm not mistaken, another guy who's been another great player for them. Lindeborg, even though he had the injury, he was impactful for them as well. Mara. They have a host of guys on this team that just impact the game on both ends. And Michigan, 57% from the field in the first half, 64% from deep in the second half. Wow. 57% from the field, 64%, in the second half. That is efficient shooting. When you're playing that level of offense and you're stopping the best players on the other end, you're going to win this game. Like, it's just no way around it. Michigan led as much as 30 points in this game. Once the game got up to 20, I said, there's no way they're letting it.
Yeah, I shut it off. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, and I meant, and I'm just going to paraphrase it. Like, I was reading an article on Brazello, his article, and they mentioned how they didn't want to let up because they saw what happened with Duke in that game against UConn. They didn't want to. They said, they could have easily let their guys rest after being up 30. They said, nah, they didn't take out their starters and main guys really until like a minute left. They wanted to make sure they kept their foot on the gas and make sure they maintain this lead. And they said, nope, you guys ain't going to come back. We're not going to give you any glimmer of hope. We're going to command this game and make sure you guys crush your hopes. Trying to make an epic comeback.
I love that line, by the way.
Yeah.
No, because it's so many times where I see that and people kind of judge them or react to, why'd you do this? I'm like, you're playing to win the game.
Yeah.
You're not trying to play to not lose. You know what I'm saying? To play to win. And in that situation, it's like, you just saw what happened. That's pretty much what he said. Y'all just saw this. and we're not playing some inferior opponent. Obviously, it looked that way from watching the game, but it's 2 1 seeds. This is meant to be a battle of the Titans game. And when it came to just how it turned out, yes, it ended up being a blowout, but Michigan never took the foot off the gas. Obviously, Arizona made a lot of mistakes. The biggest mistake I saw, you already mentioned points off turnovers, but I think one of the biggest things also too much one-on-one ISO basketball, not enough ball movement. And that shows from the assists. 22 assists for Michigan, only 5 for Arizona. That's just not getting it done. That's not good basketball, especially in today's way of playing ball. You're not going to get enough of a look, especially against a quality Michigan defense trying to just go too much one-on-one and not move the ball around, make plays, swing, find an extra guy, ball move, whatever have you. So to that standpoint, that was just disappointing because I think just Matt, like that just shows why they shot so bad, 37% from the field. I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot done against anybody in March Madness in the tournament. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get much done. You're not knocking shots down. I mean, it looked like Cole Pete was the only one who pretty much showed up with his 16-point, 11-rebound performance. But outside of that, you didn't get really much whole lot of contribution. And honestly, if you're watching the game, the only time I felt like we get anything out of it was if you're watching the Fab Five all-cast, which I did. So it was dope seeing it in the Fab Five. Shout out to Michigan Fab Five. That was dope. But yeah, man, I shout out to them. I mean, I knew Michigan was going to put up points. They put up 90 plus. With I think 2 of their games now. So in the tournament, so I'm like, I knew that they put up some points, but Arizona just did not have any ability to respond, which really surprised me. Like we all thought this would be a great game, and it was not that at all. No, I don't think anybody saw them being down 30, even the biggest Michigan fan. So with the way Arizona they just didn't look prepared. That's a really surprised me because they were outclassed pretty much the whole game. It wasn't like it was close in the first half and then got bad in the second half. No, it was bad in the first half. They were up 16 at half, and then from there just kind of just bloomed from there with the incredible shot making by Michigan. And then this is with the injury we mentioned as well. Like who knows if they had a healthy Luxembourg, it probably could have got even worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're lucky it didn't. So I think from that standpoint now it's like, man, like you really just have just straight up disappointment in Arizona with the way they played. I really thought some people were saying they should be the national champions. They're already going to win it all. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I just did not expect it to turn out that way. But Michigan, it's going to be a very special championship game. And right now, obviously, we would say Michigan has the edge, but man, I cannot wait to see it.
I can't wait. Tomorrow night's going to be appointment television. Michigan's 18-point margin of victory is tied for the largest in NCAA tournament game between number 1 seed since seeding began in 1979. They're also the first team in NCAA tournament history to score 90-plus points in 5 straight games in a single tournament. This offense is clicking on all cylinders. They're a well-oiled machine, man. I don't know how you stop this. When you got the inside and outside presence of their well-rounded team, I know, but UConn, I don't think UConn's as talented, but the coaching they have and the veteran experience they have, like Caravan, who's won 2 national titles. He's been there before. Terrence Reed, he used to play on Michigan. He's playing against his old school now. I know he's going to see some revenge. I think it's going to come down to that big man matchup between Terrence Reed and Ademar. Whoever wins the big man matchup, I think their team will win this game. Also, UConn, if they can hit outside shots, they got to be efficient on the outside. Because we didn't see that with Arizona. If UConn could even hit as efficient as they did yesterday or even better, they have a chance to beat the Wolverines. They have, 100%. If Reed could impose his presence like he's been doing throughout the tournament, and they can hit shots from the outside. When you have a guy like Mullins and Caravan who can connect from the outside, and then Ball when he gets going, when you have 3 guys who can contribute from the perimeter, I think that's going to make it hard for the Wolverines to guard them because you can space the floor out and then give the ball to Reed down low. He has more space to operate and do what he does and impose his will. Because Mara is 7'4", but I don't think he's as strong and have the girth like Reed. Reed knows how to seal his man down low, and we see it throughout the tournament. He's a great screen setter. He knows how to seal his man down low, get to his hook shot, and even he shows that baby hook sometimes. I'm like, yeah, he could be a good role player in the NBA one day. Like, and he blocks shots too, catches lobs. Man, I think those are the keys to the game for UConn. They gotta hit shots from the perimeter, and Reed has to impose his will from the outside. I mean, from the inside.
I agree.
He has to outplay Mara. For Michigan, I think Mara, you can't let Reed get going. He got to get maybe in foul trouble. You got to be aggressive too. You got to bully back, and that's what I love about Mara. He's become more assertive and aggressive. I remember when I used to watch him when he was a little bit younger. He used to kind of like guys bully him sometimes. He was a little skinny, you know. Now he's gotten a little more confident. He's stronger. He's in better shape. I think he could withstand that type of girth going against him. But yeah, he's gonna have to. If he can have a game like he did today, I mean last night against Arizona Wildcats, I don't see them
Mhm.
losing, man. I don't see them losing. Now we gotta factor in. We gotta see how Lendeborg looks. He's gonna be a little bit hobbled. You know. When you're
Mhm.
playing with adrenaline in the heat of the moment, you can probably get through it. But now that after the
Mhm.
games, you can feel sore and stuff like that. How's the
Mhm.
knee? How's the ankles gonna feel? And UConn's they're gonna try to exploit that. They're gonna be like, yeah, we know this guy's injured. We're gonna try to get him on some different switches
You
and
have to.
actions, make him have to
Yeah.
guard. They're gonna try to exploit that and take advantage of it. So if I'm Michigan, make sure you game plan and adjust for that because they're gonna have that up their sleeve. Hurley's a smart coach.
Mhm.
He knows what he's
Mhm.
doing, man. There's a reason why this guy in his third national championship and four. He's going seeking his third national championship in 4 years. He knows what he's doing. So
Gotcha.
it's gonna be interesting to see some of the adjustments some of these coaches make. But I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be
I mean, you have to factor in UConn's composure that they're going to have. They're going to be prepared. You know that number one, obviously with the coaching, but also just the track record of just being on the stage. They're not going to be overwhelmed by being on this grand stage that is a national championship. So from that standpoint, I would say this. Obviously, Michigan, we already said, is more talented. They're probably expected to win from that standpoint. But if UConn can manage to, one, play physical, number two, keep up their shot making, like you mentioned, the big key is those 2 points because you're going to have to score. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get to a point where, like, yes, fighting defense is going to be great, but you got to hit some shots too, right? So from that standpoint, if you can keep it close down the stretch, I can see a situation where Michigan has that slim lead late, and then Mullins comes in and hits another big shot because we've seen him do it before. Why not again? I think from that standpoint, that's how UConn's going to have to grind this game out, play physical, as what they did a great job against Illinois. If they can manage that as well, obviously you got to factor in the injuries for Michigan. See what role that could play. That also could affect them. Because everyone was mentioning how, oh man, if Caleb Foster was in that final play for Duke against UConn, then UConn wouldn't have won that game. So you have to factor in, okay, what if Michigan's guy can't play? So how or if he can play, not his best self, that obviously will be a big event for UConn. Obviously, I'm expecting this to be a re-performance. We all know, we mentioned it before about how previously played there. I'm expecting him to come out, have a big game, come out, hit some big time shots as well. But I think from just the game standpoint, I'm gonna take Michigan as of right now. But I expect a great game and would not be shocked if UConn surprised us with their brilliance, hitting some big time shots to possibly pull one out. But as of right now, I think Michigan is just the talent. The talent is just so obvious. I don't think we have to lie to ourselves, lie to the audience. I think that Michigan is definitely the more talented team. UConn, as we mentioned before, is the more experienced team and the more talented team. Not talented, but as far as like just their championship experience is going to play their role. So I think from that standpoint, it's going to outweigh, say, the lack of talent. Even though they're obviously both very talented teams, I think that's going to be a big factor when you get into the second half of games and things get tight. I think that championship experience, as it has before, is going to show up again for UConn because they're never out of the game. So you can't be like, oh, Michigan is going to be too much. They're going to score so many points and and start hitting shots and go up big like they were against Arizona. I think, to me, if you think that, UConn's got them right where got you right where they want you. You know what I'm saying? So I think UConn is going to play it tough. They're not going to get rattled. I can see Michigan leading, early on to try to get to a hot start and kind of survive that onslaught opening the game. And then UConn's going to all right, settle down. Dan Hurley's going to try to headbutt a ref again. Just keep them solid, keep them focused, keep them locked in, and they'll just fight to the finish. So I'm expecting. I saw the spread. The spread last time I looked was 7.5. You're crazy if you're betting the spread for Michigan. UConn has had so many doubters before, and I'm not doubting in the beginning. Even though, again, I would put Michigan to win the game, but I'm not betting against UConn. I'll tell you that. So that's the main thing that I can say.
No, definitely. Man, if I had to pick, it's like I don't want to doubt UConn because when they came back against Duke, I'm like, man, you can't doubt this team. Man, you
Yeah,
can't.
and they're a big time doubted then.
Even though I don't think they're as talented as past UConn teams, just the way they play,
No.
the heart they play with the resilience. But Michigan, what they showed me, the most efficient offense in the country. They're beating teams by an average of 18 per game.
Mm-hmm.
and then they have experience
They're great
too.
line.
They have feisty guards. Elliot Cadeau is a great playmaker. He had 10 assists yesterday. They have a
Yep.
playmaker who can dictate the offense and break down the defense and makes his guys better. And you got size down low and Johnson Jr. and Mara, who also protect the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm gonna give the
It's
slight
tough, I
edge
know.
to Michigan. Slight edge to Michigan. I
I
think
agree.
Michigan
I agree.
will win, but it'll be in a nail biter. I think it'll be in a
Mm-hmm.
very close game, man.
Oh yeah.
Very close game.
But
I
yeah,
won't
bet
be
against the
surprised if
spread if you
UConn
bet on it.
surprises me again and proves me wrong because when they against Duke, I thought Duke was gonna win, but then I
Mm-hmm.
saw what was happening. But then, yeah, I won't be surprised if they pull up. But I'm gonna give this slight edge to Michigan. This is how efficient they are offensively, from inside and outside, and then they have great defense. So yeah, I'm gonna give the slight edge to Michigan, man. I think it's gonna be a
I
great
agree.
game, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I know
Me
we
too.
mostly just wanted to talk Final Four, just a short episode, but you wanna? I know you're miserable right now. You're Lakers, man. The injuries after what was looking like a promising
I
March,
mean,
and then
man,
all these recent injuries. Now the Luka and Austin Reeves out for the rest of the regular season.
it just
So you
gets
got
it just gets to a point. It just gets to a point where it's like, bro, like, can we just have nice things? You know, because like we already get BTA against the Thunder, which honestly, like, I'm not shocked by that. The Thunder can beat everybody that way when they're really going and have all their guys, like, that's what they can do. They're to me the favorite to win the championship right now. You could argue with Spurs fans on the other side of that, but to me, Thunder just are that most elite team. When you factor in their talent, experience, all that, they got it all in the bag, right? And I believe they have the MVP. But back to my Lakers, man, it's so unfortunate because it just showed you how fragile it is in NBA when it comes to just success. Because not that I thought people, because I know it's always obviously the conversation of with the Lakers, are they contenders, things like that. Charles Barkley's probably our biggest hater. He speaks facts to what he's saying, more so just telling how he says it. But I just man, we're at the point now where it's just like, what chance do we have? We got a 41-year-old LeBron. People talking about he's going to have to go back to 2018 LeBron. That isn't even realistically fair. If you think he's really having to do that at 41, you obviously do think he's a GOAT. And I Michael Jordan as my GOAT. I'm not expecting him to do that. I mean, I'm thinking. I'm not saying he's going to play bad. He's going to play well. He's going to play within himself. But to athletes, he's going to go drop 40 a game to lead us into the playoffs and potentially have to carry us in the first round. I believe of what I said at the timeline from what I saw. I mean, from the timeline, I think Luka and Austin possibly could miss the whole first round. Is that correct?
Yeah, they could miss
exactly. So I'm like,
yeah.
And what scares me with that is, what scares me with that is the fact that, like, okay, if we lose some games, and then you got Denver is staying hot, and we saw. I don't mention what happened with last night against the Spurs, an incredible game. But the Nuggets on the road, I think they're on their 8 straight wins. If they get the 3rd seed, and then we get to 4, and then it's like, who do we play in the first round? Could we even get past that? And then we know, regardless of how healthy we are, the Lakers will lose in the second round for the 4th seed to the Thunder. So it just disappointed because you really think, oh man, if we get the 3 seed and we play whoever we play in the first round, and then we go against an inexperienced Spurs team, we at least have a shot. You know what I'm saying, to maybe make a conference finals run. I'd probably say a slim shot. You know what I'm saying. I'm a fan of the Lakers, but I knew our window wasn't wide open enough to be a contender, but I didn't think it would get this dismal this fast. It's really disappoints me because it's just like, I mean, no team outside of what the Celtics who have done most of the year as far as missing a star player, no team can get away with missing their star player, their best player, for a stretch of games like this, especially in the playoffs. But then when you lose not just your best player, but arguably your second best player, second option in Austin Reeves, it just gets to a point now. To expect a 41-year-old LeBron James to carry you just isn't fair. We're playing good basketball. I did not think we could blow out that badly. Obviously against the Thunder, even though it didn't surprise me. But to have to add insult to injury with the aftermath of that, and then I heard even more reports of apparently he got the wrong area scanned in the MRI. Austin Reeves. First I thought that was NBA said tell. I was like, what? How the hell do you scan the wrong area on a player as far as the injury? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, it got from bad to worse so fast, and it just shows you how fragile things are in the NBA. Because on the other end, I hope teams have the better luck. Like I hope Cade comes back soon and can lead his team to whatever run he can go on. Because just like you don't want like when we talk ball, especially as media people, man, I always factor in health. I assume health, because if the team isn't healthy, they don't have a chance. That's just obvious, right? So just to see things go this bad, it's like you think, what if? You think obviously in Luka's case, man, you're going to be that game short of that 65 game threshold, and which is going to bring even more criticism to the rule. And then just from that standpoint, like we're going to be like, who the hell is going to be All NBA? Because it's going to get to a point now on the other end. It's like, man, you got all these dudes making All NBA, making all this bread. And it's like, wait, this dude ain't better than Luka. This dude ain't better than Kate. This dude ain't better than Steph. So it's like it just kind of compounds things to where not just the Lakers, but the NBA conversation of the 65 game rule and like who's going to win these certain awards and everything, All NBA and postseason awards. It to me, it's not just tragic for the Lakers. It's probably more tragic for the NBA because like it's going to make people come down even harder on this rule. Because now you're adding another superstar who not just was an All NBA player. This was in my opinion, MVP candidate. Yeah. Wherever you want to consider him, top 5 or a favorite to be an MVP, he definitely was in that conversation for sure. So just to have it all in like that, it just feels unfair, So I just don't know where the Lakers go from here. I just know from in the conversation in the offseason when it comes to the NBA changing the 65 game rule, that is going to get very loud in the offseason for sure.
No, it's just disheartening news to see how well the Lakers were playing. And you get the news. You see Luka hurt his hamstring, grade 2 hamstring strain. He'll be out for like 3 to 6 weeks. After you guys were playing incredible basketball. And then Austin Reeves, when he grabbed his back I said, oh no, not that too. I said, oh no. I said, yeah, that's not good news. I knew it was going to be something because he was hobbling out there too. Man. And then you see how loaded the West Conference is. Denver Nuggets, they're starting to click on all cylinders. We'll probably talk about them a little bit, but to see how your Lakers, you guys were rolling, and then now you get bitten by the injury bug at the worst possible time, right when the playoffs are about to be starting. And LeBron's not like LeBron is in his prime. Like, this guy is 41, man. You can't expect him to have to carry so much load. This ain't 07 to 2013, 18 LeBron. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If that was that LeBron, you might still have a shot because that's how good he is. But this guy's near the end of his career, man. He doesn't want to take on that load. He probably doesn't even have the capacity and energy to do that anymore on both ends. So now it's just, and you guys are probably going to drop to the 4th seed now because Denver won yesterday against the Spurs.
Absolutely.
And now the Lakers, they still play the Thunder on the schedule. They might be able to beat the Mavericks today as we're recording this Sunday, but
yeah.
And you have the Utah Jazz, so those should be like 2 easy wins right there. But if you drop to that 4th seed, you might play the Timberwolves in the first round. And Anthony Edwards with no Luke, oh, you guys.
He'll drop 40 runs again like he did last year, bro.
Yeah, he might go nuclear again on you guys. So
have Gobert looking like Shaq again.
What you say?
Have Gobert looking like Shaq again. What he dropped like 20 and 20 on us when we played him last year in the playoffs or something?
Yo, I that mention, seen him make jump shots and bank shots. I was like, what is going on? Are we alternate universe?
Yeah, that was so bad.
Bro, I was laughing. I said, Lakers, you're making him look like Hakeem Olajuwon.
That's so embarrassing, bro. So embarrassing.
That's the greatest offensive game he'll ever have in his career that he's ever had.
He gonna play that as proof for him to get in the Hall of Fame, acting like he's like one of the greatest men of all time or something, bro. Don't get me started on that, bro.
I was like, bro,
Shaq, man, we saw that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Come on, man. Rudy?
Who? But he had 25, 20. Like, what?
Nah, bro.
That's just not like it, man. Did you get to see that Wemby Jokic game?
Oh, man, did I? I mean, you talk about two Titans, bro.
You probably got to see more of it to me. I was at the gym. Tell me what I missed like the first 3 quarters. I got to catch the 4th quarter and the overtime.
So the thing about it, I more so caught the first half because I was sorry for I go out to dinner and everything. But man, the Spurs look like the better team, I would say, through that first half in the early 3rd quarter. But that's where, because it basically was atmosphere of a playoff game. I'm sure you'd agree. But it just shows you why experience matters. Now, people, kind of feel like overlook it now because, the Spurs are very young, but they're so talented, they're so good, they're so locked in, they're so well coached. Shout out Mitch Johnson. But in the 4th quarter and that overtime, Jokic took the game over. And just like I say, kind of like how we mentioned back with UConn, just those timely plays, those timely shots in the big moments. Those were the difference in the game, and he got it done. Just over Wemby. I think a matchup against Wemby on the big shot that was the dagger in the game.
Jokic,
Yeah, Jokic hit the shots when it mattered most, and I can't wait to see. I hope they match him in the playoffs. That could be a classic, instant classic NBA series if it turns out to be that way. But man, it was just a pleasure to watch. Honestly, as a basketball fan, it's just one of those things like, yo, I'm so glad I get to watch it. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm in this era because to see a Wemby and a Jokic matchup, you knew it was gonna be primetime television, and it was every bit of what you asked for as a fan, bro. So like. I could have a whole 7-game series of that for sure. I need that, honestly. Even though I don't know if it'll go that way because like the Nuggets they are on a roll. So if they get the third seed, that would be them in the second round. So I hope to see at this point, even though my Lakers would have to suffer for that to happen. But man, that was just great basketball. I think that the thing about what surprised me was the Nuggets weren't playing great defense, but they're still finding ways to win games. And Jokic is obviously carrying a massive load with what he has to do this season, averaging triple double and everything. But it makes you concerned if you're a Spurs fan. I would say, just like when you're facing these talented teams, these championship caliber teams that have championship experience, can you make the plays when they matter most? Who's going to be that go-to guy outside of a Wemby? What guard is going to step in when it matters most? I would say to get it done. Obviously, you assume it will be a De'Aaron Fox. He's more experienced than, say, a Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle. I love those guys, super talented players, but you want to see it to believe it, especially in the playoffs, because as great as De'Aaron Fox is, being a baller in this league for so long, he hasn't really had any success in the playoffs. So, he had that one great playoff series against the Warriors a couple years ago. Then he lost in the first round. So even him as one of the more I guess elder statesman players in the league compared to other than Harrison Barnes on the team, you don't have a whole lot of guys with a lot of playoff experience or playoff success. So you just wonder in the playoffs, and I think that kind of gives you an example to me of like how that could be the thing that stands in their way. As much as we want to see them make a deep playoff run, that's gonna be the thing that I feel like could be their Achilles heel this season. But obviously that also could be a blessing in disguise because you got the experience in a regular season game, in a game that I arguably believe you should have won, to where that could help you in the playoffs. So we'll see. Obviously, it's going to be a very good conversation, but I would love to see. I would love to see how they respond. I think they play the Nuggets one more time, right, in their season. So I want to see how they. Yeah, exactly. So I want to see how they play the next time to see if they have the same issues or not, and then I think that'll be very telling to see how things could go for them in the playoffs.
Man, all I had to say with that Wemby Jokic matchup is, whoo,
man.
I'm like, we're watching 2 7-footers for the prototypical versions of what you want in a modern day big man. Like at the top of the top, the epitome of greatness. Like we're watching Jokic, the greatest offensive center we've ever seen, go against Wembanyama, who is into the conversation for best defensive player we've probably ever seen, the best defensive big we've ever seen, the stuff he's able to do defensively. When they're going toe to toe. Every matchup has never failed since Wembanyama entered the league.
Must-see TV.
Every has been must-see TV. And they put on a show for us fans. I was coming back from the gym, and I'm like, man, I already missed most of this game. Let me at least catch the fourth quarter so I don't miss it. And, man, was I not disappointed. I was like, man, let me wait longer. Overtime? Yeah, take me there. I was like, I could wait to shower. Let me wait to shower after the game. I'm like, I can't miss this, man. It was like I couldn't. It was glued to the TV. You're witnessing 7-footers shouldn't be able to do the things that these two are doing.
Not at all. It's insane.
This is the evolution of basketball. And I hope people who love basketball and watch it are like, man, you got to appreciate it. Like, you're seeing 2 different contrasting versions go at each other at the best of their ability right there. Wembanyama kind of got a little gas near the end of that fourth quarter. Shout out to Aaron Gordon, too. He played great defense on Wembanyama in 2 critical possessions.
He's the X factor, in my opinion.
In the fourth quarter and in overtime. He got a little physical with him. He didn't foul him. He made him take tough shots. Like, I'm like trying to get that game winner, end of the fourth quarter where he came up just short. Aaron Gordon played some great defense on him there. And he had a big stop against De'Aaron Fox where he kind of forced him to a bad shot at the end of a shot clock from 3. Played some critical defense, 3 straight possessions down the stretch. Aaron Gordon, to me, he's the X factor for the Nuggets at their postseason success. If they want to win a championship, he's going to have to be healthy, playing at the level he's playing at. And he was also great offensively, cut into the rim. Him and Jokic just have a great synergy with each other, just like Jamal Murray and Jokic. To me, they're the best tandem in the league. Jamal Murray and Jokic, that you can't stop that. You just can't. And also, Wemby, he had this sick pass from like half court throwing it to Devin Vassell. I'm like, 7'4" shouldn't be doing that. Taking the ball full court, dribbling, throwing it a perfect pass. Like it wasn't off, it wasn't it was on point. And he had like 5 or 6 assists in this game. 5 blocks, 34 points, 18 rebounds. It's amazing, man. And, I didn't think he'll be this advanced early in his career offensively. I thought it'd take him maybe to year 4, year 5 He's ahead of the curve. Defensively, I knew he was going to be great. Offensively, I thought, okay, it might take him some time. Maybe he'll get to this around year 4, year 5. No, he said, no, screw all that. I'm here now. And they're winning.
Be hungry.
I know they lost the game. This will be a great learning experience for them because I was like, this is a good test for them. And that was a playoff atmosphere yesterday. I was like, the only thing I was mad about in this game is like, only thing I had is like, I wish it was just a primetime game. It was at 3 o'clock instead of
man.
This should have been a primetime matchup. You know what I'm saying? That's the only gripe I had with it. Other than that, it did not disappoint. If you're a basketball fan, you had to enjoy it. And then Jokic had this one of our greatest shots I've ever seen. Somber shuffle, his specialty. Off bounce, fading away, off the wrong foot, against the outstretched arm of an alien, 8-foot wingspan, over Wemby, and somehow gets it in. I said, no, he did not just do that.
I've seen that shot too many times as a Laker fan, bro.
Oh yeah, AD's having post-traumatic stress disorder. Don't get me started. AD so many times. He said, "Wemby, welcome to the club. Welcome to my portfolio." You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. And then you could tell Wemby's gotten stronger too because there were some plays he straight up just blocked Valanciunas when he was trying to bully him down low. Same with Jokic. Rookie Wemby, he's getting bullied. But now he's gotten a little bit stronger. I'm like, oh yeah. And he's gonna if he continues to get a little like 5-10 more pounds without losing his mobility. Hey, league gets over, man. And then he's gonna get better positioning down low. Man, I just love what I'm seeing. He got to the foul line too a lot in this game. He was aggressive getting to the rim. I'm like, that's the most aggressive I've ever seen Wemby. Like going to the rim, ripping through, drawing fouls. That's what I love to see, and that's what he's gonna have to do. If this team wants any chance to win the championship, they're gonna have to do that. Fox is gonna have to play better, obviously, too. Stephon Castle got down the game, but he was pretty good for them as well. They're gonna need some of the guys to be more consistent, like Devin Vassell. You gotta be more consistent, knocking down outside shots. Champagne, you too as well. Harrison Barnes, I'm gonna need you to hit some critical key 3-pointers down the stretch in big games. You have championship experience. We'll need you to display down the court as well and rally the troops when the guys kind of seem rattled in big moments. But yeah, I love what I saw from the Spurs, man. I think it's a great test for them. This is gonna be a great learning experience. Hopefully, we see them in the last game because sometimes stars don't. But
yeah,
on that cutoff though, Jokic only miss one more game. Wemby like 2 more.
You're gonna have to play.
They might have to play.
You gotta play at least 20 minutes, right, for the rule?
Yeah, you gotta play at least 20 minutes.
You gotta play.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if they'll play to the full extent, but I just hope we get another matchup. Like, if we don't get in the regular season, I want to see it in the playoffs in the second round.
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a great episode. Tell people where they can find you, man.
Yes, sir. Find me Philwell24 on Instagram. Also, Wilson Way Sports Talk on Instagram. Wilson Way Sports Talk YouTube channel. Wilson Way Sports Network on my blog site as well. Go and check me out, man. Got a lot of great content. Gonna be more on the way.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, another great episode with my guy Philip Wilson. Kept this short here on this Easter Sunday. So hope you guys all have a blessed Sunday. Have a great one with your families. I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, DJ Sports Show. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.